All right, let's talk about something we've probably all been through. You're in the store, right? You see this wall of gorgeous-looking natural deodorants. You pick one that smells incredible. You spend way too much money on it, and then nothing. Just disappointment. If that sounds familiar, you're in the right place. Today, we are going to get to the bottom of this whole natural deodorant dilemma. So, here's the plan. We'll start with the dilemma itself, the frustration. Then we'll get into the science of why we get stinky in the first place. After that, we'll clear up the whole deodorant versus antiperspirant confusion, check out some of the big names on the market, and then wrap it all up with the stuff you really need to know.
Okay, so let's set the scene. You're trying to do the right thing, maybe use cleaner products. The options are endless, the packaging is beautiful, the scents are amazing, but the hype doesn't always match the reality, especially when you're halfway through your day and you catch a whiff of, well, you.
I mean, come on, who hasn't been here? It's such a universal feeling. You have all this hope for a new product, you're convinced this is the one, and then you find yourself doing that discreet little armpit sniff check. It's a cycle of hope and, let's be honest, total frustration.
And people really don't mince words about it. This quote pretty much sums up how a lot of people feel after a bad experience. It's blunt, it's a little harsh, but it perfectly captures that feeling of being completely fed up with products that just don't work.
So let's get a really important definition straight. A natural deodorant isn't designed to stop you from sweating. That's not its job. Its whole purpose is to neutralize the bacteria that cause the odor. And here's the real kicker. The word natural on a label isn't actually regulated by the FDA, so it can mean a lot of different things.
Okay, to really figure this all out, we've got to talk about the science behind it. We need to understand what's actually going on with our bodies that creates that smell we're all trying to avoid.
And here is the first major plot twist. Sweat itself doesn't really smell. I know, right? That BO smell is actually caused by the totally normal bacteria on your skin breaking down the stuff in your sweat. So the real enemy isn't the sweat, it's the bacteria having a party.
And get this, not all sweat is the same. You've got your workout sweat, which is mostly just water and salt. Then there's the sweat from eating something super spicy. But the one we really care about is psychological sweat. Stress sweat. It comes from different glands, it's a little thicker, and yep, it's the one that bacteria love the most, which means it tends to be the stinkiest.
Now, knowing all that science is super important because it helps us understand the products. We tend to use the words deodorant and antiperspirant like they're the same thing, but they are doing two completely different jobs.
Think of it like this. Deodorant is all about fighting the smell. It's got antimicrobial stuff in it to go after that bacteria we just talked about. But, and this is key, it still allows you to sweat. Antiperspirant is on a totally different mission. Its goal is to stop the wetness by literally using an ingredient, usually an aluminum salt, to form a plug in your sweat glands.
Now, a big reason people switch to natural deodorants is to avoid aluminum. There were some health concerns that popped up way back in the 80s. It's just important to know that, according to dermatologists and major groups like the National Cancer Institute, a whole lot of research since then has found no conclusive evidence linking it to those fears.
Okay, now that we've got the science down, let's talk products. Let's look at some of the most popular natural deodorants out there. Now, this isn't a best of list because what works for me might not work for you. Think of this more as a field guide to help you figure out where to even start.
First up, we've got Salt and Stone. This is the one that people call chic. Seriously, it has this super minimalist look, and the scents are just, wow. They're described as a 10 out of 10, with options like Santal and Vetier. They smell amazing, but they're not going to knock you over.
So what's the verdict? Well, everyone loved the scent and how it felt on the skin, and for a normal day, it holds up pretty well. But under pressure, like a serious workout, it kind of fades. So perfect for your desk job, maybe not so much for a spin class.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? It perfectly describes that experience. The nice scent is still there, but so is your sweat. It's that classic natural deodorant reality check. It helps, for sure, but it's not some kind of magic shield.
Next up is Lume. This brand has a massive, and I mean massive, cult following. It was actually created by an OBGYN, and it's made for your whole body.
pits, privates, you name it, and its fans are seriously passionate. What's really wild about Lume is how different people's experiences are. For some, it is their holy grail. They say it keeps them odor-free for days. But for others, it was just fine. It didn't quite live up to the massive hype for them.
And this review right here, this is why Lume has such a loyal fan base. For the people it clicks with, it really clicks. It gives them a kind of confidence and odor control they just couldn't find with any other product. And finally, let's look at Schmidt's. This one has a reputation for being one of the most reliable options out there. It's often seen as the one that's closest to a conventional deodorant in terms of performance.
So what are the trade-offs with this powerhouse? Well, some people said it lasted them 2 full days, even through hot yoga. That's impressive. The downside? You gotta be careful not to get white marks on your clothes, and some people still felt like they needed to reapply it before going out at night.
This really gets to the heart of why people like Schmidt so much. If you're looking for that feeling of security that you used to get from your old antiperspirant, this seems to be one of the best bets you can make in the natural world.
So we've gone through the science, we've looked at the contenders. What's the bottom line here? How do you actually find something that works for you?
You know, it all comes down to having the right mindset. Just remember, you're fighting odor, not wetness. That natural label doesn't have a strict definition. And most importantly, you have to be patient. It can take a few weeks for your body to adjust to a new product. It's really all about trial and error and managing your expectations.
And that really brings us to the big question, the one that's at the heart of this entire debate. What is your top priority? Is it being completely dry all day long? Or is it using a product with ingredients that you recognize? The answer to that question will tell you everything you need to know.